Yasukuni Shrine is Japan's national cemetery. Who would object to visiting a national cemetery? The problem is that the shrine holds A-class war criminals there. Let's say there are two friends in a village, A and B. Let's say that one day B's father broke into A's house and assaulted the whole family, raped her mother, and made her daughter prostitute. Now, if B wants to be friend with A, he will at least have to apologize for his father's actions. But it would be an insult to A if he said his father was a good man and taught his son to be like his grandfather. The question is, were the Class A war criminals great soldiers? Among the Class A war criminals, the top Class A war criminal is Hideki Tojo. As he was appointed Prime Minister in October 1941, he immediately ordered the attack on Pearl Harbor, causing war with the United States, and resigned after being responsible for the defeat in 1944. He was a key figure in the war. In particular, he was the only one who introduced the samurai spirit and was the one who ordered to die honorably rather than disgraceful war prisoner as a samurai descendant. However, contrary, after defeat, even public opinion was raised to assassinate him to responsibility of defeat, but he didn't commit suicide. He was still alive when the king shamefully surrendered, and about a month later, he attempted suicide when the US arrest team arrived. Not by sword, but by gun. Not even aimed to the head, but heart, but even that failed it. The moment he pulled the trigger, suspecting that he diverted the gun by terrified. If not, why couldn't even beat the heart? He ordered subordinates to honorably die, but he was still alive when the king surrendered, and he was alive when even the public opinion was raised to assassinate him. He shot a heart instead of head, but in the end, he didn't even have the courage to shoot properly, even at the heart. His actions that added to his cowardice was evident in the trial. In the attack on Pearl Harbor, he said that he only executed what his predecessor had decided, and he blamed all the sins on his predecessor and appealed for mercy. This was clearly a lie, too. When Japan invaded China in 1937, the United States demanded Japan's withdrawal and imposed a naval blockade. Japan started negotiations with the United States. However, as negotiations faltered, Japan decided to attack the United States if not reached by October. At the time of the resolution, the Prime Minister was Fumimaro Konoe, but it was Hideki Tojo, the Minister of the Army, who insisted on the attack at the meeting. When the Prime Minister failed to attack in October, it was Tojo who demanded the king be stripped of Prime Minister post, and it was he who became Prime Minister and voted for the attack on Pearl Harbor. Nevertheless, he lied and begged for his life, saying, "I just implemented the decisions of my predecessors." However, before his execution, he left behind a will saying, "It is the joy of leaving this life of desire today and going to Mita's side. It's like dying resolutely."
Tojo, I shall not address you as general, because of course you know that there is no longer any Japanese army. Well, you better make sure and let you look at it in black and white. It sometimes helps your memory.
Other Class A war criminals also made excuses and blamed each other at trial, begging for their lives. According to the handwritten statements of 15 Class A war criminals kept in the National Archives of Japan, there was no reflection on the genocide they committed. Instead, they cried and begged for their lives. The reason why Japan pays tribute to the A-class war criminals, in spite of strong opposition from neighboring countries, is because Japan wants to recognize the Great East Asia War they led as a glorious victory. However, it would be a great contradiction if the leaders of that glorious history begged for their lives after the defeat.